someone flex me a bad body. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
It's another one. We're back at Boxing Hub, featuring yours truly, Trey, and I go by the name of BNG. What's good?
Yes, cuz what's going on? Obviously, this is a new thing for us, of course, man. Wednesday, I call it the weekday roundup. I think we should call it. We obviously had some events, happening over these past few days, so I think this is the perfect time for us to just speak about what's going on in the boxing world. But other than that, cuz before we get into that, how was your day? You know how we do. How are you doing, man?
All good, all good. Same or same. All good, all good. Can't complain.
Love that. Yeah, I'm blessed, man. Obviously, we've had a good day straight in from work, so I'm just ready to get down to business, really, man. But obviously, before we start, massive shout out to iBoxing Hub as well. In the back end, he's doing a tremendous work on our end, and just know that you're going to be seeing more content, more promotions, and yeah, massive shout out Tony Ellis. Love the energy, brother, man. And God bless you for obviously tuning into the show. And yeah, cuz let's get down to business, man. You know how we do, man. Mr. Entertainment, sports entertainment. Let's have it, man. Let's have it.
Conor Benn. Look, what is going on? What is going on? I'm confused. Literally, I think he's confused. The whole nation's confused. What is going on? He says he's an innocent man, right? Innocent until proven guilty, right?
Yep.
But show us. Show the public.
Exactly.
I mean, what's your thoughts? Do you think him going on a Piers Morgan show was actually a good thing or a bad thing?
Me personally, I think that, look, nothing against Piers Morgan. He's got a job to do. But I just feel that platform is associated with negativity in sport, because Piers is obviously linked to the Sun, and you know what the Sun does. We look at the back page papers, all of these stories are mostly geared to negativity. I felt that if he's got a voice, he's got a following. Send out what you need to say out there. You don't need to go to an outlet like a Piers Morgan, because I felt the same way. Look, I'm a Man United fan. I felt the same way Ronaldo. I know you're going to bust up about that, man. But look, Ronaldo did the same thing, going to Piers, and my reaction was the same. And my reaction towards Conor going on the same platform is the same. Doesn't need to do it. He's got a platform by himself to be able to prove his innocence, man. If you're innocent, prove it. Prove it.
But here's the thing. This is the question. Is he innocent? Don't get me wrong. I'm not accusing him. I'm just saying, is he? Okay. Do you think he's innocent?
Cause it's a difficult one, because I'm not putting or saying anything, because obviously we're on air and everything. I'm not sort of putting out there, agendas or nothing. But at the end of the day, for me, you're a British fighter. You've got the British Board of Control. If you feel you're innocent, provide your samples to them. Let's make it happen, man. Let's prove your innocence so you can be registered to fight in the UK, and then you could clear your name and keep it moving, man. But I don't know. I sort of feel, and look, I could be wrong. Obviously, the viewers could let me know what's going on, but I feel that because the British Board of Control, they've had sort of issues with his dad in the past, it's sort of like a continuation. And I don't want it to be that, man. Look, Conor Benn is super talented. He's got massive potential in the welterweight division. And I definitely feel that, he's got the potential to be the champion one day. But just clear your name, man. In my opinion, just clear your name. Get on and done with. If you're innocent, clear your name with the British Board of Control. If anything, take it a bit further so you could make stuff happen, man, because this is a restriction on his growth, in my opinion.
Do you know what? It's funny you say it, because look, he's now surrendered his, British license. The way I see it, this can actually work in his favor. Again, just hear me out.
Yeah.
How I see it is that, look, if the WBC has cleared him, he can technically, he's not in a ban. He can still fight in America, elsewhere apart from the UK, right?
Yeah.
The zone is big in America, so Conor Benn can potentially become an international star because, look, once he's back in the ring fighting and hopefully winning and knocking out his opponents, I think the fans are most probably, draw into him again. Do you know what I mean? Because look, I remember there was a time when Tyson Fury, he surrendered his British boxing license.
But he surrendered it for a different reason, man. Do you know what I mean?
True.
He surrendered it under different circumstances, man. Obviously, we know what happened, in the back end with Tyson and what happened with the mental, health and all that stuff, man. And obviously, big up that he's been able to overcome that situation and be back in the ring. He's a champion now. So that's a completely different subject, man. Conor Benn, in this scenario, I do agree with you. I think it would be beneficial for him to, have that international presence, and maybe what's happening now could open the doors to, fights in the States. You've got Boots Ennis, man, another welterweight. You got Virgil Ortiz, you could fight. You said the zone. Like, there's still, you don't need Britain to grow within the sport, but just having those local fights in England, the O2s, the Wembleys, Manchester AO Arena, that seems like a regular place, especially for Matchroom. Come on, man. He's obviously throwing that away, man. Us British fans. Yeah, go on.
But I think, some saying, due to pride, he doesn't want to, provide his samples to, the Boxing Board of Control, because my understanding, if he does, can they ban him? And if they do ban him, he's looking at 2 to 3 years?
Yeah.
So I suppose in his point of view, or his team, they're probably trying to play it safe. Do you know what I mean? He's only 26. So let's just say if he did get banned and he got found guilty, 2-3 years, and then he comes back when he 29, 30, it ain't going to be the same. The division will change.
Yeah. By then, Spence would have gone up, Furman would have gone up, I think, and essentially the division would be opened up. Like, let's hypothetically speaking, if that was to happen, them belts would be potentially all over the place, man. Unless someone clears it up, unless Terence Crawford, unless he clears it up during that time when Spence goes up, because I definitely feel by this year or next year, end of next year, Spence is moving up if that Crawford fight doesn't happen, man. In my opinion, I think he's just going to move up, because you got to look at the age, man. Like 33, going down to welterweight. I think Spence could fight at middle. He could fight at middleweight, man. And the fact that he's always having to go down to about 147. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
Yeah.
So what's your views on Conor potentially challenging Manny Pacquiao? Personally, I think it could be dangerous for Conor.
Why do you think it could be dangerous?
I understand. I think it could be dangerous for Conor. Honestly, I honestly think, because look, I understand you. Look, okay, they've both been inactive, but the experience that Manny Pacquiao has,
trust me,
is too much. Not just that. I know Manny Pacquiao lost to his last fight was to the former welterweight champion. Sorry,
Ugas.
Yeah, Ugas. He lost to Ugas because Ugas is a decent fighter. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, he's a potential opponent for Conor Benn.
I even think Ugas would be dangerous for Conor Benn at this point now. At this point now, but I'm just thinking to myself, I get it why they could potentially make the Pacquiao fight, because Pacquiao wants to fight, but I think it's a risky one, because if Conor loses to Pacquiao, what is he back down on the drawing board or what?
No, but that would be a massive opportunity lost, man. Like, I put it in this perspective. When Ugas fought Pacquiao and Spence was supposed to fight Pacquiao, Spence, in his mind, was thinking, yes, this is because he's looking for Pacquiao for a long time. He wanted to be the man to retire the man, if that sort of makes sense, man. So having that opportunity to fight a legend like a Pacquiao, you don't want to obviously lose that fight. You want to be the man that retires the man, if that sort of makes sense. And a loss to Pacquiao, it won't be too bad, but you know, at the end of the day, you don't want to lose to, especially a declining Pacquiao, respectfully. Even though he's still at a top level, he'll still beat most welterweights in the top 10 in all the sort of rankings. But still, he's coming up to the sort of end of his career. He's not the same fighter as he was, so there is a good opportunity to win that fight.
I believe it's going to be a natural pro fight, not an exhibition. There's no point. What's the point in doing an exhibition? Yeah, it's going to be a pro fight. So either in Saudi or America.
Where would you do it? Where?
I would most probably do it in America just to build up, you know, the fight. You know, DAZN, Conor. I'll do it in America.
Yeah, cuz, man, this is a good point here. Big up Ra Hakim, of course, man. Cuz, what are you saying about this, man? Obviously, he's saying don't get what the plan is for Benn. They seem more interested in the big name fights rather than developing him to be ready for world level. Cuz, what's your thoughts, man? I think
exactly my point. That's the thing. Like, look, before all of this came out, my understanding Conor Benn was going to be, you know, the next, let's say, the next AJ of DAZN, you know, the next big thing.
Yeah.
And like, he's been fighting a lot of people who were former world champions, but let's be real, they're pretty much, you know, the mileage is done. Yeah. But I just don't know. I honestly think, now at this point, if he doesn't want to fight in the UK no more, then I think America is his next home. And I think he has to fight the likes of Ennis, who else was it? Ortiz, you know what I'm saying? So, and Keith Thurman, and possibly Adrian Broner if he wants to do it. So I think I personally that's the best route for him. I think I now see him. He's going to be an international star.
Big up Ayaz Mahmoud, of course. Yes, brothers. Obviously, therefore, dangerous fight for Conor. He hasn't fought a real welterweight yet. Algieri, Vargas were all really 140 pounders, 100%. Big up. Let's be real. It's dangerous, but Father Time hits everyone. Big up Ayaz, man. Obviously, we 100% agree with you there. Yeah, cuz, man, it is a dangerous fight. And like what we were saying, and like what Ayaz is saying as well, Father Time hits everyone. And it basically did for Pacquiao when he fought Usyk. Like, you saw the levels. You saw the levels. Imagine if Spence fought Pacquiao instead of Usyk. Imagine Spence didn't get injured. Boy, yo, God works in mysterious ways, man. In my opinion, man, that could have been fatal.
But I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see, you know, Conor Benn back in the ring, but it's just with all this madness that's going on, you know, I don't know. But like I said, I think him fighting Manny Pacquiao, it is dangerous. It's a dangerous fight. It's a dangerous fight. And you know, okay, let's just say, right, the fight does happen and he beats Pacquiao. What's next?
All right, so because I'm distracted by this question here.
No, it's a big up lights out. It's true, you know. How can you go from failing a drug test to mega showdown? But look, at the end of the day, look, boxing is business. Do you know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, look, he like I said, it seems like his team has advised him that, look, drop your British license and go abroad, because if they find that you're guilty, you know, you're gonna go for a ban, you're gonna lose money, and you know, you're inactive for like what, 2 to 3 years. Whereas if you take this route, which seems to be the safer route, you can build your name, and in the next, I don't know, 18 months, people probably forget about all of this. I know it sounds dumb, but you know, it's true.
You obviously already know, and we obviously had a conversation off air, and this is a bit off the script here, but this is obviously one of the reasons. Obviously, massive shout out to the women for International Women's Day as well, man. And that's obviously one of the reasons why I respect their game so much, man, because in terms of the big fights, in terms of the best fighting the best, they make it happen, man. No complications, no politics. They're ready to get in the ring, get at it. So I just want the big fights to happen. And for Conor Benn, I'm just hoping that, look, on a personal level, I just hope that his name is cleared so that he could fight. And look, potentially we need to see this Eubank Benn fight, man. The resurrection.
I believe this Eubank Benn fight, would it happen? I don't know now. If it does, it can't exactly happen here in the UK, can it? Well, for now anyway. So most likely looking at what, Saudi or America.
Sure. I'll run that in Saudi, man, because it seems like Eddie Hearn's got and Matchroom, they've got a good sort of partnership with the team there. You know, AJ's fought there a few times, Usyk, you know, all these guys, they're fighting there, man. So if that fight was to happen, but cuz my question though is, Eubank, you know, he's not going down. I know we're going a bit off topic. He's not going down. He's not going down to lower than 160. Is Benn gonna go up to 160? I just don't.
A man with pride would do anything. So, you know, I think he's gonna have to. You know, if he believes he can beat Eubank, then prove it. That's the only way. Prove it. You know
what? Big up Ayaz here as well. This is exactly what I was saying. Like, I'm happy that it sort of fell through as well, because that's a dangerous fight against for Pacquiao against Spence, prime Spence, basically. It would have been dangerous. Game over. Yeah, man. But cuz obviously let's get down to the main event, the big business. But before we obviously get to the main event, of course, I just want to quickly run through this comment here. Obviously, Ra Hokam, big up as well. Could he even fight in the US? The board said they'll request for US commission uphold their suspension.
Listen, money talks there, unfortunately. Money talks. You know, you pay the right person, things will happen.
Yeah, and look, lights out as well. Big up. Nothing against Conor Benn, but there is no clear proof showing his innocence. What type of message are we sending to the next gen of boxing? This is powerful right here. Big up, lights out. The sport is getting ruined day by day. That's why for me, bro, we have to be promoting our women, bro. Because the women, they're making it happen. So I'm hoping that could inspire the next generation to just let people know that, big fights can happen. They've got it to a point where undisputed fighters are fighting other undisputed fighters. When's the last time that's happened in the men's game?
The thing is, like, look, in men's, how I see it, everything comes down to negotiation, money, and also it's a thing where maybe the promoter doesn't want his fighter to fight, that opponent, because he's protecting his asset. Because at the end of the day, if his fighter loses, then he's losing out on money. I mean, for example, look at Eddie Hearn and AJ. I mean, I don't know what the outcomes is, but just look. AJ's had 3 L's out of his last 5 fights. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them ones.
Cause it's tough, man. And look, we love the sport so much. We obviously we watch the pay-per-views, we go to the events as well. Cause we want to see the big fights, man. Obviously, I call you Mr. Sports Entertainment for a reason. Look, I want to see these big fights, cause I want us to be talking about these big fights.
This is the thing, right? We talk about wanting to see the big fights, right? Look, you've got Usyk and Fury. I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing the fight might not happen because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they offered Fury, was it
60-40 you were saying, isn't it?
Usyk, they offered Usyk. Well, somebody offered 60-40. And, obviously Fury's side has declined it because I get it. Look, I understand. They're both undefeated, right? But Usyk carries more belts. But I suppose they should just do 50-50. But then it's just annoying that money gets in the way. It's like, look, we have not had an undisputed heavyweight champion for over 20 years. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Do you know how embarrassing?
Yeah, because that's what
it's very embarrassing. We talk about, look, Fury goes, he doesn't care about money. Well, clearly he does. Do you know what I mean? If he's saying, yeah, he'll fight AJ for free, yeah. Why? I mean, no. Okay, let's just deep it. He fought Derek Chisora at Tottenham, right? He got paid way less money than what Usyk's offering him. And if Usyk was to fight somebody else, he ain't gonna get that big payday. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make no sense. So how I see it, if Fury and Usyk doesn't happen, I suppose Fury will probably fight Andy Ruiz, or he can hold fire. Maybe if AJ beats his opponent, they can run it back again. I don't know, but it's just getting tiring. I'm bored.
I'm bored as well, man.
This is why I enjoy YouTube boxing. You know, they're doing it. You know, they're generating the numbers. They're bringing in the crowd.
They're doing it, man. They're doing it, man. But obviously, cuz talking about social media, cuz we've got the big one. At least we can confirm this one. We've got Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan King Garcia, Mr. Social Media. Cuz we've got that on the table. At least we could talk about that. What's your thoughts? You ready for the conference?
You know what? I'm going for Tank. No disrespect to Garcia. I just said there's something different about Tank. He's a different breed. He reminds me of a young Iron Mike Tyson. He's just rolled, put it that way. He's just rolled and knows how to fight. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? How I see this fight going, if Ryan trades with Tank, he will get caught. Yes, I know Ryan has got speed. You know, he's got the reach advantage. The only way Ryan can beat Tank is if keep a distance. So he'll beat him on points. But I can't. Again, I'm not trying to contradict, but I can't see Ryan Garcia knocking out Tank. I think, but then again, I feel that Ryan sees a weakness on Tank, because initially Ryan was supposed to fight what's his name, Haney. But he avoided Haney and he went to fight Tank. It makes you think maybe it's something he's seen that we haven't seen, you know. But we'll see. Yeah, the fight's not far. The fight is not far. I'm excited. I'm excited. You know,
I'm really, really, really excited about this, man, because I feel like, especially what we was just talking about previously about the big fights, I feel like we're finally getting that one big fight for the year, and then hopefully that will be a snowball effect, and we start to see, you know, more big fights. Obviously, you've got Haney, Lomachenko. That should be a big one. That's why that division
is on fire
compared to the heavyweights. It's fire. Obviously, the heavyweights is always going to be heavyweights, but there's too much sort of politics with this and that. But I feel that with the lightweights at the moment, they're ready to get on. They're ready to put aside the politics. Obviously, big up boxing. He actually involved in that. Haney is the king. No, he is.
Yeah, he's the king. He's the king. He's the undisputed champion. He's the king. No one can't say nothing. But I want to see Haney and Tank. I want to see that fight. I want to see it badly.
Cuz, man, that would be a massive fight. And look, cuz, just to add on to what you were saying about Tank, because I agree with you completely. The only thing I'll sort of add, I think he's a hybrid in a way of Mike Tyson, of what you said, and Mayweather a little bit in terms of his skill. Not on that Mayweather's his own being, but in terms of his art in the ring, in terms of how he ring generalship, his boxing IQ. He's always thinking. Look at that fight against Rolly Romero, for example. You just set him up for a trap. It was like he threw the bait for Romero to come attack. He was like, come, and then boom. Yo, not everyone has the IQ, the ability to do what Tank does. And I think probably inside 9 rounds, man, it can happen. In between 7, 8, and 9, I reckon that's where he could either get the stoppage or a potential knockout, man. I reckon, man. That just carries too much power, man. Tank, especially for that division. It's dangerous. Dangerous fighter, man. But credit to Ryan Garcia. He is a warrior. He's obviously proved that he carries power, body shots as well. He's got... So, like we said over the weekend, in fact, this is a new gen Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya in terms of the profile of fighters, man. And you got Golden Boy, and he's obviously not part of Mayweather promotion. You could see the dynamics being like that. Mayweather's gonna come and support the boy. You just know it.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, come on, man. That's his man. He's gonna put aside the politics, etc. He's gonna be there. I reckon, in my opinion. So it's just gonna be massive, cuz, man. I can't wait. Cannot wait, man. But look, let's cover a few sort of last little comments before we obviously wrap up. I know everyone wants to watch the Champions League. We just wanted to give you guys a roundup. But look, as Mahmood, big up. Understand Fury's the bigger draw, but Jesus Christ, if Saudi can't afford you, how much are you asking for? Cuz,
last time I remember, it was $500 million for him to come out of retirement. So do you know what? Like I said, just make the fight happen, and it's all about legacy. Because look, if Fury becomes undisputed, it's like no one can't say nothing. I know he's never lost, and I know he's won them belts before, but he's beaten Wilder, and if he beats, and he's beating Klitschko, and if he beats another Ukraine, Usyk, well, no one can't say nothing. He's the best in our generation. Don't get me wrong, he's the best right now, but no one can't say nothing. Nobody can say anything, So, but
I'm gonna because obviously this point here, we're gonna cover this after, but just before we cover this, man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously, British fighter, Fury, understand, respect the Gypsy King, massive, massive respect for him. But I can't lie, man. I've got a soft spot for Usyk. Usyk, I don't know if you saw the overlap with Gary Neville. That's where you saw the real Usyk, man. I tell you, watch the overlap with Usyk. Whoever hasn't watched it. Gary Neville, Usyk. He talks about the reason why he fights. This guy fights for Ukraine. He doesn't care about the belts. He's like, yo, I'm going out there to represent my country, the soldiers that have died. He's just on a different scale. So I just don't think, in terms of the negotiations and business, I don't think he doesn't care too much about the money. I think what Hakum is saying here, it could be the case. And obviously what he's saying is, I'll tell you what's going on. Fury's so obsessed with AJ. He's soaked off that the Saudis didn't offer him more money than AJ. Now he won't fight Usyk for less. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's facts, but it does sound like it's a bit, it does make sense. So big up. And Hakum's obviously saying Garcia on points. I don't rate these street tough dudes. Ooh, ran quit against Pretty Boy Lennon, and Tyson bitched out against the church guy Holyfield, the real deal, Holyfield.
I remember that. Well, listen, guys, this is it, man. It's a wrap. But listen, we're back here again on Sunday at 7:30. I go by the name of BNG, feature yours truly, Trey, and this is iBoxing Hub. Take care.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, with your bag it up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag it up. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.